Congratulations on completing your first exercise. This tutorial provides the solution to the exercise. In order to gain the full benefit of this course, be sure that you've completed the exercise to the best of your ability before continuing on with the solution video. The first thing we need to do is add our relay buttons to our touch panel. From NetLink Studio, double-click on the touch panel file to open it in TPD5. Now I need to create my 5 buttons. Use the Button Draw tool to draw a button on your relay's pop-up page. Under the General tab, the button type should be General. I'm going to match the size of my other buttons. Of course, your button may be a different size and in a different position. That's perfectly okay. Under the Programming tab, set the feedback to Channel. I understand we haven't talked much about feedback yet, but if you didn't set this, be sure you take a minute to change all of your buttons to channel feedback. Under the States tab, select All States. Select a suitable border. I'll choose Circle 45. My border color will be Grey 5. Select a suitable font and font size, and then input the text Relay 1 on. Now I'll choose the colors for the off state of my button and the on state of my button. For my off state, I'll choose Dark Aqua. For the on state, I'll use Very Light Aqua. To see how this looks, you can toggle the States button up in your toolbar, or use the hotkey F11 and Shift F11. Copy and paste this button. Change the text in the second button to read Relay 1 off. Continue copying and pasting buttons until you have all 5. Make sure the buttons are labelled properly. Relay 1 on, Relay 1 off, Relay 2 pulse, Relay 3 2, and Relay 4 min 2. Finally, align the buttons on the screen however you wish. Assign channel ports and codes to your buttons. Use channel port 1 and codes 301 to 305. Our touch panel file is ready to go. Save the file and close out of TP Design 5. Let's now begin working on our code. In the Define Device section of your code, define your devices for the exercise. First, we'll define our touch panel port that we used. We used port 1, so our device definition looks like this. DVTP relays gets 10001:1:0. We'll also need to define our relays on the NetLinks controller. We'll call that device DV relays, and its DPS is 5001:21:0. I'll now scroll down to the Define Event section of our code and create a button event for each of the buttons. Button 301 on the push will turn on Relay 1. Button 302 on the push will turn off Relay 1. Button 303 on the push will turn on Relay 2 for a fixed period of time, pulse. Button 304 on the push will turn on Relay 3 for as long as the button is pressed, 2. Button 305 on the push will turn on Relay 4 for a fixed period of time as a minimum on for as long as the button is pressed, min 2. Remember, it was also a requirement to change the default pulse time to 1 second. I gave you a hint that there were 2 pulses that needed changing. The first one we need to change is the obvious one. It's the third button event, button 303. So before the pulse statement, I will add a set pulse time 10 statement. Don't forget, you must change the pulse back to the default pulse time if you ever change it. Therefore, I'll add another set pulse time 5 statement after the pulse command. So, what's the second one I need to change? It's button 305, the min2 command. Remember, this is a combination of the pulse and 2 commands. By setting the pulse time, you're telling the relay how long to stay on for before going off. So, I'll add in the set pulse time statements before and after the min2 command. So this code will work just great the way it is. However, one of the last requirements of the exercise was to use constants in your button events. Therefore, let's scroll up to the Define Constant section and add in some constants. First up, let's create the constants for the button channels from our touch panel. We'll name them Relay 1 on button, Relay 1 off button, Relay 2 pulse button, Relay 3 2 button, and Relay 4 min 2 button. Now we just need to assign them a channel number. What were the channel numbers we used for those buttons? 301 through 305. Now we just need some constants for the relays themselves. This is easy. We just need to define the constants for relays 1 through 4. I'll call them Relay 1, Relay 2, Relay 3, and Relay 4. The last thing we need to do is scroll back down to our button events and replace all the different channel numbers with the much easier to understand constants. I'm done. Save and compile the program, ensuring there are no errors or warnings.